Why is he the oldest man executed in the history of Texas? A free citizen, just like he was executed in 2021. Stay with me to discover why the 78 Carl Wayne Bunchen became Texas' oldest executed inmate in history. In this video, we bring to you the true record on the oldest inmate executed in Texas. This is Inmate Execution Channel. Subscribe now to be part of this community. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. On April 21st, 2022, at 6:39 p.m., a 78-year-old man took his final breath in Texas execution chamber. Carl Wayne Bunchen, the oldest person put to death in Texas modern history, died for a crime committed 32 years earlier. The murder of Houston Police Officer James Irby during a routine traffic stop. His journey from a childhood marred by violence to 3 decades in solitary confinement ended with lethal injection. This is the story of a killing that shattered 2 families and a legal odyssey spanning generations. Born March 30th, 1944, Carl Bunchen's life was poisoned at its roots. His father, a violent alcoholic, once murdered a man in front of the children. He smashed his wife's teeth with his fists and broke Carl's bones in drunken rages. One night, he forced the family out of their home after losing it in a card game. At 12, Carl lived on the streets for 6 months after defending his mother from a beating. His twin brother Kenneth would later die in a police shootout at 27, an event that allegedly seeded Carl's vendetta against law enforcement. Bunchen's criminal spiral began at 17 with a theft conviction. Over 20 years, he accumulated burglary, drug, and property crime charges. In 1971, he served 13 months of a 15-year sentence for sexually assaulting a child. Paroled and adrift, he allegedly told companions, "I'd rather shoot out with police than go back to prison." By June 27, 1990, the 46-year-old was riding passenger in a car stopped by Officer Irby, a husband and father of 2 young children. Heroin lay in the trunk. Bunchen's parole hung by a thread. As Irby spoke to the driver near North Loop East, Bunchen exited the vehicle. In one motion, he drew a .357 Magnum and shot Irby point-blank in the forehead. When the officer collapsed, Bunchen fired twice more into his back. Fleeing on foot, he sprayed bullets at bystanders, attempting to carjack one driver, shooting at another officer, and holding a civilian at gunpoint. Irby's final radio call echoed unanswered. Unit 101 out on traffic. Minutes later, Bunchen was cornered in a nearby building. Officer Irby was pronounced dead at the scene. At his 1991 trial, prosecutors painted Bunchen as a cop killer avenging his twin's death. The jury sentenced him to death after 9 days. For 18 years, appeals centered on flawed jury instructions. Texas hadn't allowed proper consideration of mitigating evidence like Bunchen's traumatic childhood. In 2009, the Court of Criminal Appeals ordered a new punishment trial. At the 2012 resentencing, Bunchen's brother Bobby testified, "Our father broke Carl's wrist with a baseball bat, shot him during a hunt for sport." Prison officials admitted Bunchen had only 3 minor disciplinary infractions in 21 years, the last a 1999 fistfight. Yet the jury again ruled him a future danger, sentencing him to death. 3 decades on death row became a slow death of its own. After a 1998 escape attempt, Texas moved death row to Pulaski Unit, a maximum security prison where Bunchen lived in 60-square-foot isolation. 23 hours daily in a cell, 1 hour in a barren wreck cage. No TV, only a radio. 2 monthly visits behind glass. By 2022, arthritis, vertigo, and sciatic nerve pain left him wheelchair dependent. Pneumonia struck days before his execution. Transport back to prison caused a head injury when guards break suddenly, hurling the shackled man into a partition. He spent final visits shivering without a shirt after guards denied his request to retrieve one. April 21st, 2022, Bunchen declined breakfast. His last meal remains unrecorded, a silent protest or institutional indifference. At 3 p.m., prison officials delivered twin blows. Governor Abbott denied clemency. The Supreme Court rejected his final appeal. He bequeathed $96.24 from his inmate account, a radio, and a watch to friends. As pentobarbital preparations began, he was baptized. With spiritual advisor David Downey present, Bunchen requested, "Let my body be touched as I die." Downey would stand at the gurney's foot, hand on Bunchen's ankle, a concession 1 day earlier from the Supreme Court. Strapped to the gurney at 6:26 p.m., Bunchen faced 2 witness rooms. To his left, journalists and friends. To his right, Irby's widow Maura, clutching her husband's photo. Outside, dozens of motorcycle officers revved engines. A roar of witnesses called disgusting revenge. Bunchen's final words cut through the noise. "I wanted the Irby family to know I do have remorse. I pray you get closure. To my friends, not goodbye, but so long. I'm ready to go to heaven. Warden." As chemicals flowed, he gasped softly. At 6:39 p.m., the state pronounces death. Maura Irby whispered, "I just took the deepest breath in 32 years." Bunchen was buried in the prison cemetery, his tombstone reading, Carl Wayne Bunchen, 1944 to 2022. In death, he embodied contradictions. A remorseful man who shot an officer twice in the back, a frail elder executed after 11,780 days in isolation. Texas' first execution of 2022 ignited debates about aging death row and future danger predictions. For the Irbys, it closed a chapter. For Bunchen, it ended a life measured not in years, but in decades of concrete solitude. His legacy? A question etched in legal briefs and grieving hearts. When does justice become cruelty? Join me in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel to be updated on every inmate in the United States of America. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. See you here tomorrow.